Phantom blood. What is phantom blood? Well, I'll tell you. In the late 1800s, there lived two famous people. Well, important people to be specific for the plot. There was Jonathan Joestar and Dio Brando. Now, those two had a bit of a quarrel, a bit of an argument, a bit of hate. After all, Dio Brando's father was a bit of a thief and an abusive father, and Jonathan's father was a bit of a gentleman, a very, very exquisite gentleman. So the two were very opposite. But how did they connect? Well, they were connected because of, they were connected after an accident a long time ago, where the mother of Jonathan had died, but he protected him. And when Dario came to check out the incident, he was planning to steal, but George Joestar, the father, he assumed that Dario was coming to rescue him, so he owed him his life. Many years go by, and Jonathan and Dio were connected, and it was quite interesting. When they met, Danny arrived. Danny was Jonathan's dog, his companion, technically, and Dio acted a bit of a douche and kicked Danny for no apparent reason, although he said to George he justified his actions because Danny jumped on him. That was very interestingly wrong. The feud between Dio and Jonathan lived on for a long time, but they became friends later, or so we think. You see, Dio had a very interesting idea. He wanted to destroy Jonathan's life and take it. Take it. But Jonathan was never going to give up on that. You see, when Dio took everything, just as everything was taken, Jonathan met a girl named Irina Pendleton, and they were in love with each other, until Dio realized that Jonathan felt love, so he decides to steal that too. So, one evening, Dio Brando stole the first kiss of Irina Pendleton, and Irina was so shocked that she disappeared, and Jojo and Irina never met again until later. Enraged with this behavior, Jonathan arrived to Dio and beat the living ever crap of him until his father saw him. Motorcycle. Anyways, where was I? Oh yes, the fight. The father interrupted them, stopped them, realized that they got in trouble. However, when Jonathan hit the first sucker punch, blood spit from Dio and hit the stone mask, which is an important key plot of Phantom Blood and beyond. After the blood hit, the stone mask fell onto the ground, and Dio realized that he was curious, and Jonathan was curious about it too. So Jonathan went into archaeology and studied the mask, see if there's anything more he can find about it. Meanwhile, Dio was curious, so he poisoned Jonathan's father with a bit of poison, the same poison that he used on his father. And so, while Jonathan was studying, he noticed a letter. This letter was for Dio. It was a letter that told about the symptoms that Dario was experiencing, and Jonathan realized that these are the same symptoms that his father is feeling. So he came up to Dio and says, "Dio, are you poisoning my father?" Dio says, "What are you talking about? We're friends. Why would I ever do that?" But Dio is a very manipulative bastard. And Jonathan could see right clearly out of that facade. So he swore to find this source of the poison and the antidote too, by going across Britain to find the source. While on his journey, he stumbled across Ogre Street, a place full of savages and bad guys alike. And he met across a group of savages along with a unique man by the name of Robert E.O. Speedwagon. Now, Speedwagon, he was a very, very smart and clever person. He could detect, because of his life in the bad places, he could detect the smell and can see and find out who is evil and who is not. And then Speedwagon found out who Jonathan is. Jonathan is a gentleman, according to him, after a duel, but Jonathan didn't kill Speedwagon. He thought that he was, but he didn't. Jonathan spared him because he realized that he was a good person and he had a family and everything. And all Jonathan wants to do is find the source of the poison, which he found by a person by the name of Wang Chung, who had a bit of the poison. Dio, enraged by this reveal, he pretended that he was lying. He pretended he was going to turn himself in, but Speedwagon told him, Jojo, don't listen to him. He's deceiving you. And so, what else happened? And then, when the two met, then all of a sudden, then he announced that, announced with evidence that, Dio poisoned George Joestar, which George heard secretly all along, which made him upset. And so Dio was about to be arrested, but he grabbed a knife that he hid himself. He hid, and he stabbed the father, and it was shocking. It was shocking to Jonathan. So, with the blood of Jojo's father, he put on the mask, put on the blood, and then all of a sudden he realized that he was a vampire, and he became a vampire. And how did he know the mask couldn't turn him into a vampire? Well, he tested it on a hobo in the streets, and the sun, and it was very powerful. Very powerful. Vampire was very strong. So Dio put him on himself, removed his humanity and everything, blah, 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 blah. And then it was a fight to the death with Dio and Jonathan Joestar. They fought under the mansion. Dio, but then it's the mansion caught on fire. And then, after a while the mansion was on fire, they fought, even though it looked like all bets were lost. All hope was lost in the Joestar family. It was until, and then they fought. The two fought, and then Dio was burnt under a statue, and then Jonathan thought he won, but later, while his body was healed by a nurse named Irina Pendleton, they realized that Dio's still alive. So, with the help of a brilliant man by the name of Baron Zeppeli, Jojo learned the tricks of the Hamon, which was very interesting indeed. It took a lot of training. Speedwagon wanted to try it out, but I guess that punch in the stomach did not work so well. So, in the main confrontation between Jojo and the group of people, along with Dio. Dio brought in some mercenaries from the ground under. It was 2 knights, one with a sword, one with a freaking steroid juggernaut, and then they fought. The guy with the sword was very honorable, gave it to Jojo with the word pluck on it, with his own blood, but the other guy, the Juggernaut, he was savage. He was belligerent, and that resulted, and he was so violent that neither Zeppeli or Jojo could fight him. So Zeppeli died. He died. And it was fate. It was his fate. It was sad. Like, completely sad. Jojo was bereaved, and everything was sad. Zeppeli gave the last of his Hamon, all of his life energy to Jojo, which made him stronger. Strong enough to defeat this juggernaut that killed his mentor. Finally, they set free and gave Zeppeli a proper funeral. And which then they met these 2 guys, Dyer, Straight, and Ton Petty. They worked together to get to Dio's castle. Dio rented a castle or something like that, and made a lot of servants with by combining heads and animals and all that stuff. It's kind of disgusting. So Dio was anticipating Jojo's arrival, and while Dio didn't want to kill Jojo in the first place. He got those two knights from the past to do it for him, because, well, Dio and Jojo were together for a long period of time. So Jojo fought, and, well, Dyer came up and tried to fight him with his cool split attack, but Jojo had cold hands, and the fight, and Dyer died because of it. Jojo grabbed the sword that the sword guy used, and he fought Dio. He fought him, and then after that, Dio was dead, or so we think. After the battle, Jojo was exhausted. He used all of his energy, but he's not dead. He was just exhausted from all that fatal battles. But Dio fell off and disintegrated. Many days later, Jojo and Rena married, and they were going to go on their honeymoon to America. One of the cargo, there was cargo, regular stuff, but one of them was a bomb-proof crate, like a casket. And when the seamen who were carrying the cargo in, including the casket, one of them heard a silent and they stopped, realizing something's not right. What happened? I don't know. So, hours until it was nighttime, while Jojo and everyone was having fun on their trip to America, suddenly, on their dinner, Jojo saw Wang Chung. Yes, the same Wang Chung. And then Jojo came up and says, "Irina, stay in the room and don't come out, okay?" So Jojo went into and fought, and he came up and he saw Dio's head in a case and everything. And before you know it, Dio grabbed out his little laser things and caught Dio right in the artery, in the stuff right here. And Jojo, fatally wounded, he couldn't use this Hamon because he couldn't breathe. So, with a little bit of his Hamon, he made Wang Chung. He didn't kill him, but he made Wang Chung stop the steamboat, caused it to explode. And then on February 8th, 1889, I think, Jonathan Joestar died. But however, he told Irina to get into one of the caskets. There was two, I believe, because there was two caskets, and she told her to grab the baby that was rescued. Saw a baby, grab the baby, and get safe and go into the bunker and everything. And Jojo grabbed Dio and just hugged him and embraced him, and when he died, he just couldn't let go of him. And then the explosion happened, and then that ends Dio. And Irina was saved by the Canary Islands, and that was the end of Jonathan Joestar. Which ends Phantom Blood. Next time, Battle Tenancy, in which the grandson of Jonathan Joestar, Joseph Joestar, yes, that's his name, the grandson, goes out and fight the bigger vampires called the Pillarmen. And this will be interesting, I think. I think I might do more, but it's starting to get cold. I think it's 29 degrees. I'm wearing a t-shirt in the night and everything, but yeah. I hope you enjoyed this this very weird video of me trying to tell what about part. This was me trying to remember. That was me telling Phantom Blood all in memory, and it's not accurate, so don't quote on me, but hope you enjoyed it. It's me rambling, so yeah. Bye!